Hey everyone, it's me, Wolfy. Here I am, healthy-ish, alive-ish. Um, but I kind of want to talk about a few things. Um, a lot of where I've been and what's been going on and what my headspace is. The biggest factor, obviously, and the number one contributor to um, me was that I had a very, very serious drinking problem. And it cost me everything. It took away a lot of things from me that I never realized were so important to me. I lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot of people I cared about. I lost a lot of people I loved. I lost faith in myself. One of the things you first really start losing when you become a severe alcoholic is um, that feeling of caring about anything. You just, you don't care. You don't care about anything. You don't care what's going to happen to you. You don't care what people think about you. And you're just there existing. And you think it's okay. You think you're going to simply just eventually drink yourself to death and you're going to die. And you're okay with it. Um, you don't realize what you're doing to yourself in full. You don't realize that you've lost track of all logical reasoning. And you really start to find out that you don't know who you are anymore as a person. And it's not something that is really easy to understand until you yourself have gone through it, because if you get through it and survive, living past it all is really kind of fucked up in a way. I I don't know if this is going to be even worth listening to, or if it's going to mean anything with my pauses. And right now my mind can't even think as I try to say what I want to talk about. Um, I guess I can start with what happened to my mind in Seattle and kind of go from there. Back in September 6th, 2022, I was leaving a convention that I had gone to with a couple buddies from VR chat and one of my lifelong friends, Evan. We had a pretty good weekend. Uh, but during that weekend, I started feeling really sick. I thought it was just me not feeling great. Um, what it was realistically was over a decade of heavy alcoholism catching up to me. Um, it was those years of panic attacks of my body saying something wasn't right. Um, it was the brain fog in my head, leaving me confused all the time, thinking, oh, I'm just not doing okay. I'm not, I haven't drank enough water, which is also true. I wasn't drinking enough water because when I drank, it was alcohol, it was booze, it was a beer, it was a shot of whiskey, a Jaeger bomb, a twisted tea, whiskey and Coke double, make it a 50-50. I'm going to bed. I need a couple shots to go to sleep. Now I'm about to start gaming. I need a couple drinks, and it all caught up that weekend. I remember being out to dinner with you know, isn't that just yeah. I still have internet connection, and this is how things go. I try to record something, and I'm actually gonna leave this in because this is pretty accurate to how it feels in my life. You you really can't make this stuff up. Um, I went out to get drinks with well, not drinks specifically. I got drinks, but we went out to dinner at a restaurant. And we ate and the meal was good. I had a couple of drinks, and suddenly I had to go to the bathroom really bad, you know, number 2. What I didn't realize, this is too perfect. I can't believe it. I'm not even gonna be angry about it. The previous version of me would get pretty upset that, you know, I'm just trying to record something simple. Nice position. Love it. Wouldn't be me trying to do something if the entire game freezes on me. Now, there we go. Let's get something comfy again. Oh, I'm keeping this in because I think this is absolute gold to show how I handle and deal with things now that are frustrating. I've already forgotten entirely my thought process on what I was talking about, but I think I kind of remember. So I'll get comfy again. And I'll just set it up, and we'll carry on. And I was happy with that. That's spot too. Dang. But good enough. I had to go to the bathroom really bad when we finished dinner and we walked home, and my bowels let a little bit out, and I just thought I just literally just kind of shat myself. We got home and I got in the bathroom and I sat down in the toilet, and it was just pure blood coming out. It was the most heart-dropping feeling I've ever experienced in my entire fucking life. Just a fucking toilet full of blood. And the first thought that goes through my mind is, holy shit, here we go. Everything's ending. Your mind, my mind, it stopped. It said, pretend this doesn't exist. Pretend this doesn't exist. Carry on as normal. It just didn't happen. It's something you ate. It's... Your mind goes blank, and I clean myself up and I go back in and the person I'm staying with and carry on like nothing happened. We go to bed, getting ready to leave for the airport in the morning. And the person I'm staying with wakes up. And he looks at me and says, hey, I'm heading out for the airport. Do you want to come with me? And my flight wasn't until about 2 hours later. And I said, no, I think I'm gonna sleep a little bit more. I'm going to... We don't have to check out. I'm gonna sleep. And he finishes getting all his things together. And he gets to the door and something clicks in my head. And I say, wait, hold up. Actually, just give me a sec and I'll get all my stuff together. And I'll go with you. I'll sit around in the airport for a while. And it was that something in my mind tried to block out everything that happened last night, but I knew things weren't good for me, and if I went with him and I collapsed in the airport, somebody might see me. So I left the hotel room, went to the airport, and the person I was with and we went separate ways, and I go check in with my ticket, and I start heading to the security line, and I see it's a long line, and I get that gurgling inside. Well, if I'm gonna get through security, I need to go to the bathroom first. I go to the bathroom, and the exact same thing happens, but worse. I try to stand up, and my body's not moving. I started seeing my vision turn white. I couldn't hear anything correctly. In my mind, I'm just thinking the lights are too damn bright in here. Why are the lights too goddamn bright? Somehow again, I got myself cleaned up, and I grabbed my bags, and I tried walking out of that bathroom. I don't know how I got out of that bathroom, but I managed to get right to the outside and move next to the bathroom door and kind of collapse, sit right next to the bathroom door. And I had to have not looked okay. I had to have looked paler than anything because of how much blood I had lost. I struggled to try to get attention of an employee, and somehow I muttered out words like, I don't know what it was, but it was something, me trying to say I need help. And I remember the person looking at me directly in the eyes, staring at me as I was sitting there feeling like I was about to pass out. And he looked at me and he went, "You can go to the front counter and someone will help you there." And he walked away. And I went, am I really gonna die here? Outside of an airport bathroom. When I just asked someone for help. And they walked away. I remember standing up and walking through the entryway, because it was a one way where you're only supposed to be walking in to go to security, and I just walked through, and I remember bumping into people and kind of pushing some people aside, and they were saying some stuff, but I couldn't hear anything they said, not a goddamn word. And somehow my mind forgot that I was trying to get help. And I go to where I got my ticket and I said, "Hey, I think I need a wheelchair to get to my flight." Somehow my body just overrid all of the alarms going off because I had to get in that flight. I had to get home. "Oh yeah, sir, we can get a wheelchair for you if you just have a seat over there. When it gets closer, someone will come out with a wheelchair and we'll pick you up and push you to the gate." "Okay, thank you." I'm guessing I said something like that. I go and sit there, and I sit next to a sweet, lovely black lady. She looked at me and she said, "Hon, you don't look okay. You don't look good at all." I said, "No, ma'am, I don't feel well." And she offered me a piece of candy. I took the piece of candy and threw it in my mouth and said, "Hey, maybe a piece of candy is the cure-all for this." Maybe this will make it all better. Maybe this is just a bad, fucked up dream, and I'm still back in the fucking hotel room, sleeping, waiting to wake up, and this is just a really messed up dream. And those lights, those goddamn lights, why were they so fucking bright? I couldn't keep my eyes open. I kept nodding, in and out, in and out, in and out. And I looked at the lady and I said, "Ma'am, can you try to get the police officer? I feel like I'm about to faint." And she, you know, politely stands up and sees a police officer and screams, "Ma'am, can you help?" And officer comes over and says, "What's wrong?" And I look at the officer and I said, "I think I'm gonna faint. I feel like I might be dehydrated or need some water." And so she says, "Okay," and she leaves, and somehow she goes and finds a Starbucks and gets a big glass of ice water for me and says, "Anything else?" And I look at her and just go, "No, I think this is fine. I think the water will make me feel better." And I drank the water, at least what I could remember. I drank some of it. um, I looked next to the lady next to me and I said, "Hey, if I pass out, can you get help for me?" And she said, Sure, hon, I got you." And that's it. Um, Nothing. Nothing until I woke up and no clue about where I am, what, anything, nothing. But something wasn't right. Someone's standing over me and they're questioning me and they're asking me stuff. "What's your name?" "Hello, sir." "Sir, what's your name?" "Sir, what's your name?" "My name's Ian Conley." Why is it so fucking hard for me to talk? Why is it so hard to breathe? Why do I just not feel okay? And he starts asking me more questions, and I start going, "My name's Ian Conley. I live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Um, I have my wallet, my phone in my pocket." Um, they they tell me my vitals, and it was something like, if I remember correctly, it was like 80 over 29. Um, Sir, we need to take you to the hospital. No, I have my flight to catch. I need to get on my flight. I need to get on my flight. Sir, you're not going to be able to get on that plane. No, this is bullshit. I need to get on that flight. I paid for it. I need to get on it. Sir, we need you to go to the hospital. I don't have insurance. I can't go. Sir, you are going to die if you don't go to the hospital. I need to go to the hospital then. I sat back in that ambulance and I didn't realize the severity. For some reason, I pulled out my stupid phone and I took some selfies of me in the fucking back of the ambulance as I'm fucking dying. I get there and they throw me in a room. It's just a simple room, nothing fancy. The nurses are coming in, checking me out, and I just start up casual conversation like it's another day. I'm cracking jokes about bleeding out and all ha ha hee hee. And I'm playing it off like it's nothing. And they ask, oh, well, you know, they're trying to figure out the causes. They're asking me questions, and they're like, oh, how often do you drink? You know, not often. On the weekends with, you know, socially. Not that often, I think. As the lies come out of my mouth, and I know inside. I know I'm fucking lying to the people who are trying to save my life. And it's a fucking joke to me. I don't even fucking take it serious. And they run some tests on me, and time passes by and get a couple blood transfusions, and a little bit later, a doctor comes in, introduces himself, but he is very stern-faced. He does not have a pleased look on his face, and he says, Ian, how much do you drink? And I say the exact same lies to his face. Ian, you know you're fucking lying to me. Don't bullshit me and tell the fucking truth. Because Ian, if you don't stop right this moment, right now, you are going to die. This is not optional. You are dead if you do not stop right this minute. I'm done drinking. That's it. Never again. I'm quitting smoking. I'm quitting drinking. If I had stayed in that hotel room, no one would have been there to see me pass out. There would have been no ambulance. there would have been hotel staff coming in to clean the room several hours later and seeing a dead body on the floor. My fucking dead body. And I was there for a while, but I didn't fucking smarten up. I didn't fucking smarten up at all. I came home and just thought, well, everything's better now. I'm done drinking. Nothing to do but, remain sober for the rest of my life. Surely all those years didn't cause a lot of damage to my body. Oh, those checkups, they said, get a liver doctor. Go see a specialist. Get a primary doctor. Nope, I'm just going to change my diet. Exercise. I didn't exercise. I didn't change up my diet. I locked myself in my apartment. I clung to some very, very important people to me. And then I ended up hurting them because I couldn't get my own shit together. I could talk about the trivial things, like try to blame my past, my history, the people I dated, the jobs. Hell, I could even blame it on the 2 times I got raped when I was in college as mentally fucking me up, but no. My health problems were because of my lifestyle and the choices I made. I spent my entire life up to that point being a honors student in high school, trudging through almost being a college dropout within the first year, to getting all A's my last 2 years of college and getting my degree and getting a successful job immediately after college. I didn't have a healthy relationship that I was in. That didn't help, but that's not to blame. My job eventually got too tough for me to handle. It wasn't the job's fault, it was my fault. When life started getting hard for me, I didn't turn to people for help. Sure, it might have seemed like I did, or I talked to friends, but I didn't want help. I wanted the bottle, I wanted the drink. I wanted to have fun. And that led to me, after that incident in Seattle, still making those choices to not do what I was supposed to do until July. I was talking to two people I had in my life at that time, Kat and Luna, who were both very influential on getting me to change my life up and go to the hospital and get help. I remember one day talking to Luna and saying how difficult it was to even get out of bed. Getting up to go to the bathroom was almost impossible. I was peeing in goddamn bottles. I was ordering Uber Eats and DoorDash using what I had saved up from my job for 2 years. I broke into my 401k and I was able to basically live using about the $60,000 I had for 2 years, paying rent, paying bills. But I couldn't even get up to the bathroom to take a shit. I remember the conversation where I told Luna, I'm calling 911. And I called 911, and even then still, I could have simply said, I'm an alcoholic. I can't move my body. I'm going to die if I don't get help right now. I said, I can't move, which I couldn't. I couldn't get out of bed. I excreted on myself in my goddamn bed. And I lived in a hoarder's apartment. Absolutely disgusting. I remember when the firefighters came in, they looked around and I could see immediately the pure disgust on their faces. To make it even better, I was just there naked because I tried getting the gross clothes off of me and changing before they came. I couldn't. So I was just naked there in my bed, sitting in my own filth. And I remember them looking at me, and you'd watch them look in through the door, and some of the firefighters would walk out right away, and you could almost hear them you could hear them actually fucking laughing. They were laughing at how pathetic I looked, how pathetic I was. They said, hey, get up, get out of bed. And I said, I can't. I can't get out of bed. It took everything. It took everything I had those when I was laying in that bed. That's not even rock bottom yet. They got me eventually out. And took me to the hospital. And I remember calling my mom and saying, "Hey mom, I'm in the ER again." I don't remember what I said to her. Not a damn word besides that. When they started doing scans, the doctor came in and said, "At this hospital, we can't do anything for you." They said, "Your liver's so far gone, we can't help you." When a hospital says, "We can't help you," Jesus Christ. How did I? Let things get so fucked up. They had me stay there for a couple of days. Eventually, they got me into St. Luke's in Milwaukee. And that's kind of when it all really started. That was rock bottom. No, that wasn't rock bottom. I'm lying. Rock bottom was when I started doing what they wanted me to. They started doing tests on me. And they said, "Hey, you're going to need a liver transplant. We're going to have to get you on a list." There's going to be a committee meeting as there's so many other patients who need transplants, and we go through and we review case by case each patient. And I remember being told, "Why didn't you come get help after that September incident? Why didn't you do follow-ups, checkups, get started somewhere?" Because I was an idiot. I wasn't making good choices. I failed myself as a person to do in the basics. I'd spent a few weeks and did what they wanted, met with therapists, started their AA meetings, Everything they asked, complied with, but I complained. I complained the entire time. Like a whiny little person. Complain, complain, complain. Rock bottom was when they had said, "Oh, we put you on the waiting list for transplants." No, they didn't. I looked online and saw the committee review for my application and the review notes. And through it, they detailed everything from, is the person able to take self-care of themselves? Are they clean? You know, can they try to brush their teeth? Do they brush their hair? Do they do any type of basic care? And everything was checked a no for me. The only thing they gave me good marks on was my personality, and that I was very pleasant to the staff, and that I was following what they told me to do. But my history and the actions I had chosen showed that I was not a reliable or trustworthy person to receive a gift of an organ transplant. That I didn't understand the severity of what was going on, that someone else had to die, cease to exist, in order for me to have a chance at living. When I saw that no for the transplant, that's when I hit rock bottom. Because what I consider rock bottom is when there's no other choices. There's no paths to get out of what is basically your own death. And you have a choice to make. Do you accept it, or do you just say, I can't accept this answer? And I couldn't accept that answer. I couldn't accept no. Then they said I'm too sick. I'm not healthy enough to get a transplant. Because my current conditions, where if I got surgery, I would die on the table. My body wouldn't be able to survive. When I went into that hospital, I was like 266 pounds. I had over 100 pounds of water weight on my body. I was a water balloon. I had no muscles. My muscles are completely atrophied. I couldn't walk. I couldn't get up to go to the bathroom. The only thing I could do is lay on my bed and eat the food they brought me. and watch anime on my phone. And I could find the motivation myself to not accept that I wasn't getting a liver transplant. That I would follow every single rule they set for me. I didn't. But I tried. Because I had the support of my family, my mom and my dad. Who dropped everything and gave everything to accommodate for everything. To do the most selfless acts they could do and focus on saving their baby boy. With my dying and decomposing body, I had to get up and walk. I had to try to gain muscle. I had to eat as much food as I could, get my weight up. I had to consume so much damn protein. I'm trying to consume almost 200 grams of protein a day. $200 grams of protein every day. You get so sick of it, so disgusted by it. The hospital food tastes so bland. Your taste buds are destroyed. The medicines, the pills they give you, make you feel like hot garbage. You can't sleep, you're going through insomnia. There's no sleep. The only time I can sleep is the only time I could get sleep is when the pain was too much and pretty much knocked me out. I eventually got moved down to ICU. Because my health had gotten so bad. And the ICU became my life. But I never gave up. And my mental state was fucked. I had to somehow stay optimistic and positive to all of the nurses and all of the doctors and all of the staff. Cheerful and happy. Show them determination and effort. Put a smile on my face. When they told me to walk, I had to get up and walk no matter what I felt. When I had to do tests for them, I had to do it. I had to comply with everything. And inside the entire time, I was screaming in my head, I want to kill myself. I want to die. I don't belong here. I am a horrible fucking human being, and I do not deserve any help. I am not worthy of love. I am not worthy of care. I am not worthy of having friends. I am not worthy of anything in this life but the death that I deserve for being a failure of a human. The parts that people saw of me that they say, hey, Wolfy, But you are a good person, no. The way I acted was that of a good person. But inside, I don't think that was me. You don't deserve to say that stuff. I also don't deserve to say anything good about myself. Because there is no good. I wasn't just hurting myself, I was hurting the goddamn people I love around me. I was hurting my parents. I was hurting other family. I was hurting my friends. I knew how my brain worked. I got to know myself really good. Really well, whatever it is. Somehow, by doing what I was told and however the hell it happened, I managed to get back on the list for the wait list and get a yes for my transplant approval. I don't deserve any credit for that. The hospital staff, my parents, they're the ones that kept me alive. Because I was an empty shell. Those months of pain, to me, that was karma. That agonizing pain, the screaming. I felt like I truly deserved every single moment of it. I could talk about all of the different things I had to go through all in there, but you can fill in the blanks. It's not nice, it's not pretty. I got the transplant. I lived. I didn't feel alive though. I'm wondering now as I think. Even now, I just realized that that wasn't really even rock bottom when I said. I think rock bottom's when you truly realize you've lost it all, and when you start the recovery process. That's rock bottom. When that chart stops going down and starts going up. That dip right there. I'd lost almost all my friends. I'd lost my car. I'd quit my job years ago. I didn't have an apartment. I had to move back in with my parents at, 34. In my mind, I had nothing. You can say, well, you had your parents and you had a place to go live. But that doesn't explain what you feel inside. You have your history to build off of. But there's a lot of bad you have to process. Realizing the mistakes that were made. Because if you want to, as a person, recover, you can't blame anyone else but the person that put themselves in that situation. And to take responsibility. Those few months afterwards were the loneliest months of my entire life. I could talk to people, but the words I said didn't mean anything. It was all meaningless and empty. Anything I did, nothing had purpose, nothing had meaning, nothing had value. The only thing that I had value in was the idea of suicide in my head. But you get to the point where you get so angry, so frustrated, so upset at everything, that suicide, at least for me, it became a non-option. The thing about suicide is that it isn't logical. It doesn't make sense. That's my version of it. If other people have other versions, that's fine. Everyone experiences it different. But for me, I hated the idea that other people would cry if I committed suicide. Because I didn't believe they deserved to cry for me. I just wanted to disappear. So I thought, why not just delete everything, remove all social media, everything, get rid of contact with everyone, and I'll just live without hurting myself. But I'll just exist and nothing more. And that's when I heard a clip on YouTube, one of those YouTube shorts, where the line was, most people die at the age of 25, but they aren't buried until they're 75. And I heard that and went, God damn, that's me. Not 25, but 34. And however long I had to live. And no one's going to take me out of this but myself. No one's going to change my attitude but myself. And I'm going to need to start getting motivated real quick. But how do I get that motivation? And then I saw another stupid video. I thought it was stupid at first, but then it wasn't. Because I knew this stuff from the beginning. I knew it all along. But it was just being reminded that motivation is doing something when you're not motivated to do it. Just like being brave is standing up to what scares you when you come face to face with it. You face it and you deal with it head on. And you stand there, you don't run. You stand there and face it. For months it was crying all the time. Wake up crying. Take a nap, cry. Wake up, cry. Fall asleep, cry. Take a nap, cry. Eat, cry. Cry while you're eating. Cry while you're showering. Cry while you're sleeping. Cry while you're changing your clothes. Cry on the drive to the doctor's appointment. Try to hide the tears from the doctors. Try to hide the tears from your family. And eventually those tears, they stop. But only when you allow them to. When you realize that you need to take control. And I keep saying you, but I'm talking about myself. People tell me that I was strong for getting through it. I don't feel strong. I got lucky. And you can say, no, there's no such thing as luck. There's not any of this. There were so many chances where one small thing could have happened so many times. So many things out of my control. So many coin flips and you kind of realize you just gotta sit back and take the ride and enjoy it for what it is. The big thing to take is that it's a second chance, though. And not everyone gets that second chance. That you can do things better. That you can change. If you really want to, you can. You can do anything you want. Sure, it's a little bit more difficult. I know my brain's not all what it used to be. I won't be as quick-witted anymore, or I don't know where I'm going with the rest of that sentence. What I do know is that if I put my heart and soul and brain into everything I do from now on, I can do better this time. Because there's another important thing to remember is that it's just not me anymore. I got a passenger on board. And eventually when I need to get my kidneys replaced, because I'm gonna need a kidney transplant. Then I'll soon have 2 people on board, and it's gonna become a 3-person journey. And that's a lot of weight. There's no more fuck ups. There's a second chance. There's no more accidentally whoops I had a drink. There's no more whoops I accidentally did cocaine. There's no more whoops I made one bad decision. And I kind of liked this analogy I told to a buddy. Um, because of a lot of stuff going on, it's taking a lot of losses. There's a lot of wins, but there's also a lot of losses going through this program and this process. And the best way when I've had my downs is explain that it's like sitting at a poker table, but you're dealt a royal flush, and you still manage to lose that hand. You can be given everything, but you can't easily beat what has changed in your head. There's a lot of monsters, a lot of demons. There's a lot of wanting to be angry and upset and mad. There's a lot of sadness. There's a lot of tears. There's a lot of confusion. And you can pick yourself up or let yourself crash at any time. But if you slip up, those slip ups are huge. And they are killers. Now, how am I doing now? I'm doing a lot better now. I've been in therapy for a while. I'm getting additional therapy now as well. I still have the support of my parents. I have a place to live. I'm more blessed than I could ever be. I've even found love recently again. Met a beautiful woman. And things changed a lot in my mind. I looked back at the last 7 to 8 months since I got my surgery. As of now, it's toward the middle part of July. When I got my surgery, it was on November 29th, 2023. In that time, it all hits now. How much growing I had to do. How much had to change in the inside. Because I could get physically better, but if I also didn't get mentally better, what's the point? I'm doing better now, and I can say that I am actually happy. I beat a lot of stuff that wasn't in my favor. And coming up on September 5th will be my official 2 years of being sober. I have a life again, and I have a chance to do things right this time. Live a proper life. Love again. Make good choices and good decisions. Take care of those I love around me. Accept their support and give them support back. I get to be me again. Or maybe not me again. I get to be the new me. But it took a while to get rid of that old version that wasn't so good. But through living with it and acknowledging it, understanding everything to the best of my ability that I can is such a key vital point to being able to enjoy this all again. I wish there was some big fun way to wrap it up, but life is beautiful and it needs to be treasured. When you're gone, you're gone. You don't really understand the value of your own life. I didn't understand the value of my own life until I went through this. I thought I had it figured out. I thought I understood everything. I thought I had all the answers. Yo, I'm in my 30s. I got this. This is my time to shine. I'm smart. I'm still young. No, I wasn't smart. I was very naive and ignorant. But now I know just a little bit more. I know enough to say I don't know enough about this life anymore. Or where things can go, or how it's going to play out. But I'm looking forward to it. As a sober person. And maybe this time, I can be proud about the life I choose to live, instead of living in shame and hating myself. But I gotta start somewhere. And it started a while ago for me. And I gotta keep working every day to do better, be better. My name is Ian Conley. I am an alcoholic. I am an addict. I have abused drugs. I have made poor life choices. But I will not let that define who I am now anymore. Thanks, VR chat. Perfect timing. But I am me again. Or I am me. And I'm proud of this person this time. Peace out.